Ithmid kohol, which is also known as kajal or surma, has been used for thousands of years as an eyeliner for the eye, but it isn't only for aesthetics. Ithmid kohol has been used in the past medicinally to treat eye-related ailments, and benefits are even shown in some scientific studies. Note that ithmid kohol refers to the pure powdered mineral of galena, which is essentially lead sulfide. In this video, I will cover the composition, safety, and benefits of applying ithmid kohol to the eye. So there is a debate among people whether the original ithmid kohol is made of galena, which is lead sulfide, or stibnite, which is antimony sulfide. The majority of the kohol you find nowadays do not even contain a small amount of antimony, if any at all. Rather, the majority of Middle Eastern ithmid kohol is made using galena ore, or carbon soot, which isn't actually ithmid at all. In ancient Egypt, the mineral ore galena was known as mestim, or stim. Stim is similar to the names used in ancient Greece, stimi and stibi. In Latin, a similar word was used, which is stibium. Stibium in Latin is used to refer to antimony, but actually this is where the mistranslation comes from. That is one of the reasons why you will find a lot of authors claiming that antimony is the active ingredient to mestim or ithmid used by the ancient Egyptians and the Bedouins in their authentic kohol eyeliner preparations, where in actuality lead sulfide or galena is the main ingredient for preparing the authentic black-gray kohol used by both ancient Egyptians and Bedouins. So in reality, stibium mestimet or mestim and most likely ithmid all refer to galena or lead sulfide based kohol preparations. In fact, researchers confirmed that galena was the main constituent of a huge number of kohol samples used by the ancient Egyptians of Fayum between 2000 to 1200 BC. Another consideration is the geographic availability of galena versus stibnite in the areas that kohol is traditionally used. Galena is found near the Aswan, which is near the Nile River, and eastern desert regions at the mountains Gebel El Zayt and Gebel Rasas, which are near the Red Sea. These regions are all different parts of Egypt. On the other hand, ancient antimony mines were not found in Egypt, Sinai, Saudi Arabia, and Iran. Historically, antimony mines in the Middle East were present in Turkey, Armenia, and Macedonia. Furthermore, two large ancient galena mines were found in Egypt. From here, the galena minerals were extracted for the preparation of Egyptian and Saudi Arabian kohol. As for what people now call in the Middle East ithmid, it is the galena mineral composed of lead sulfide. Most studies have found that Middle Eastern samples of kohol are commonly used to have little to no antimony. So the safety of ithmid. Many people are already aware of the toxicity of lead compounds, so much so that anything associated with lead is considered deadly. Does the same hold true for traditional eyeliners made of mineral galena, also known as lead sulfide? Whether you call it kohol, kajal, or surma, people don't usually associate eyeliner with toxic compounds. But historically, eyeliner has been made either from vegetable ash, like the burnt remains of frankincense gum, or made from powdered minerals. The primary mineral that is used to produce the black pigments for eyeliner is galena, and to this day it is commonly used in the Middle East. But lead sulfide derived from galena ore is not the same as other lead cosmetics that were used in the past. This is hinted by the fact that there is a lack of reports indicating the toxicity of galena-based eyeliners. Rather, records were found mentioning ithmid kohol's use by ancient Egyptians and other Middle Eastern civilizations to treat many eye-related diseases, improve eyesight, and protect the eye from excessive UV radiation from the sun. That's why desert dwellers like the ancient Egyptians and Bedouins use galena-based kohol the most. Galena-based eyeliner is not the same as other lead-based cosmetics. In the past, the ancient Romans, ancient Greeks, and English of colonial Britain used a type of white lead face paint called Venetian ceruse. Venetian ceruse is essentially a lead carbonate complex salt made from reacting elemental lead with vinegar to form a white lead rust residue. The users often got lead poisoning from white lead because lead carbonate is highly bioavailable and a lot of lead was used to layer it onto the face. Whereas with lead sulfide of galena, it has very low bioavailability and it is used in a very small amount, and it actually stimulates the immunity of the eye. So as you can see, the form and the amount of exposure to the compound dictates how your body reacts to it. I believe that the toxicity of lead is more likely to occur if one consumes it. With eyeliners like kohol, kajal and surma, there's no consumption involved. However, with ceruse, one may inadvertently swallow some of the face paint. And in other instances, such as with ancient Romans who used lead plumbing and stored food in lead-lined containers such as sapa, which is grape syrup, and wine. And to this day, there are lipsticks in the market that may use lead carbonate as an ingredient. Finally, the person has to know and verify that the contents of the kohol is the pure, authentic Ithmid, and make sure that they get it from a trustworthy vendor. I read a case study where a woman was cheated and given a powder made out of the core of batteries as kohol. This adulterated powder contained cadmium, causing corneal damage, but thankfully her eye fully recovered later on. So if you're looking for the pure Ithmid kohol, I know one reputable vendor you can find on realithmidkohol.com. You can also find the link in the description below. I tried his kohol. It's very fine. It's very well prepared. I put it on my own eye and I found that it's better than other types of Ithmid kohol since the granularity of the powder is very fine. It's very easy on the eyes. And so now let's talk about the benefits of Ithmid. The Prophet said, apply al-Ithmid. Al-Ithmid has many benefits, and the best type of Ithmid is the black type with some redness in it. The Prophet said, applying al-Ithmid in one's eye sharpens one's eyesight and does so by protecting the eye from the bad substances that enter the eye. Also among its benefits is that it makes the eyelashes longer, and this is something well known and famous about Ithmid. There are some people who used to apply al-Ithmid in their eye, and they no longer needed to use eyeglasses. The Prophet had a container in which his kohol was placed in, and the Prophet used to apply this kohol in each eye 3 times before going to sleep every night. There are some hadith that narrate that the Prophet applied kohol in his right eye 3 times and in his left eye twice every night, but this is a weak hadith. Now, if you look through scientific studies about Ithmid kohol, you'll find that the scientists also admit that applying Ithmid kohol gives benefits to the eye, such as providing protection against ultraviolet rays from the sun by forming a film of galena particles over the eye that absorb the UV rays. Excessive exposure to harsh sunlight is a risk factor for macular degeneration. Another significant benefit of Ithmid kohol is that it promotes the production of nitric oxide in the eye. Raising the level of nitric oxide has a wide range of benefits, such as having potent antimicrobial, anti-tumor, vasodilating, anti-inflammatory, and intraocular pressure-lowering properties. As a vasodilator, nitric oxide improves blood flow to the optic nerve, choroid, and retina of the eye. Ocular diseases caused by lack of blood flow include macular degeneration. Nitric oxide also lowers the pressure inside of the eye, helping to stop and prevent diseases like glaucoma, which is caused by an increased level of pressure in the eye. Thank you for listening. If you want to learn more about Ithmid kohol and where to purchase it, look in the video description for more details. If you have any questions or stories about Ithmid, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd appreciate it if you like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. Bye!